Hi everyone, welcome to day one at the 10th annual edition of the Data Innovation Summit. I am very happy to be standing here with Deepak Yadav, who is one of our esteemed speakers at this edition. And Deepak is an engineering leader at Amazon. And welcome, Deepak.
Sure. Yeah, nice to be here and having in the great forum. It's an amazing experience with respect to all these, amazing people who are here. Great learning. So I'm excited.
We are very happy to hear that, and I hope that you're enjoying it so far. Deepak, can you share how does it feel to be here, surrounded by so many people who work in the fields of data analytics and AI, and also how do you feel to be presenting at this edition?
Absolutely. So I think that's one of the experience I am having right now in this forum. There are so many great leaders are here. I've been hearing about those tech talks about how they innovate in their whole company. They kind of bringing AI into their whole day-to-day life. So it's an exciting moment. And also, I mean, at least from my standpoint, I feel the more you kind of listen to these great thoughts and ideas from these people, you will learn more. So I'm excited. Yeah, sure.
We are very happy to hear that we provide a platform for networking and for people to share experiences. So we're happy, very happy to hear that. I have a few questions regarding your session and also your expertise. One of those questions would be regarding your session, and one of the points that your session covers is how AI transforms the data lifecycle. So, in this regard, from your perspective, what part of this transformation do you think the most underutilized by organizations?
Uh, yeah, that's a good question. So I feel from an organization standpoint, the most underutilized aspect of this innovation is the controllability and the governance, right? I feel like whenever we kind of these kind of automation innovation, we always forget about the data quality, and bringing that aspect of data quality into this whole automation of an ETL pipeline will bring a lot of value to the organization, because at the end of the day, it's a trust where we all built our pipelines on, right? So if you don't have a trust, it's very difficult to kind of gauge value out of the whatever work you do. So I feel like organization standpoint, I think we need to make sure that you understand your data, you make sure that you have right set of controls in, your quality checks are there, and then you can spend or invest time in the next stage of bringing or implementing AI on that data. So that's another thing I can think of.
Thank you for that answer, Deepak. And my next question would be that in your talk, you also emphasize the importance of collaboration between different teams within an organizations. For example, the data engineering team and data scientists, and also MLOps. So, in this regard, what does effective collaboration look like in practice, and how can companies foster this collaboration?
Yeah, I think from my standpoint, I think we all needs to work towards one common goal, right? When it comes to the point where you have a data requirement, you should not think of a data as a silo requirement. You should think of a data as a product. Now, when I say as a product, so you need to have a data vigilance list where they wanted to work not in the silo mode. And when I say data custodians, they are like engineers. We have data scientists. We have MLOps. So starting with the data engineering, I think they have to have good collaboration with scientists so that they can understand what the requirement is, and also have an integration or an communication with MLOps so that they can deploy their whole end-to-end pipeline with the AI ML driven approach using MLOps, right? So the collaboration is a very important factor where, from a success standpoint, I think it should be part of your initial gathering where you bring all sort of expertise into the picture, and once they are all there, I think that's when you need to work as a move forward way to solve that problem. So I feel this is one of the important aspect of having it collaborative way in terms of the initial discussion, and that's where you can have a successful product out. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm also certain that a lot of attendees who work in this field, in data engineering and both data science, would agree with you on this topic. And Deepak, I'm also curious to hear your thoughts on the role of the traditional data scientist. So, with AI driving more and more automation in organizations, how do you see the roles of data scientists evolve in the next couple of years, let's say 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, I think since science is evolving, I think it's still a hype. Maybe in next 1 or 2 years, it's not a hype, but I mean there are two aspects which or two roles which will get changed in near future, right? From an expectation standpoint, I think data engineering role. From a data engineering role, I think what will happen is uh, this role will evolve, not limited to only writing a code in Scala and Spark. I think the role will evolve in terms of expanding their knowledge base to feature engineering. And I feel that's a good way to look forward and also evolve this role because traditional data engineering role was pretty different. I mean, if you think of an example back in 2013 or 2014, we used to write those ETL code in Informatica, or we used to write ETL code in Shell. Then there's a whole technological change happened when Python came into picture in 2017 or 16, right? We used to write code in Python. So now, I think this feature engineering scientist, which is kind of the near future looking forward role. So from my standpoint, I think we don't have to sit and just whatever coming to our way do it, right? I think we need to challenge ourselves to get more learning out of it and see where we can add value. And I feel from a data engineering standpoint, we can add more value to this feature engineering role where there's a good overlap of a scientist and a data engineer where we can bring a lot of value towards the end product or kind of bring a more value towards writing or doing some experiments. I think those are some of the things which I can think of where data engineer will change in near future where they can probably explore themselves into this new role. So yeah.
I believe it will be an exciting time to see how the future will look like in terms of the use of AI.
Yeah.
You mentioned value, so my next question would be regarding value creation within organizations.
Yeah.
We all, whether you're an individual or within a team or organization, we all try to embrace the value of data and AI, especially in enterprises. So, not all organizations get the value that they expect from their investments,
Yeah.
whether it's in data, analytics, or AI, or other aspects. What would you suggest organizations and teams try out or do differently to get the value that they want to get, that they
Yeah.
expect from their investments?
Sure. I feel well. My perspective goes with kind of a experiment and observation where all the organizations are pretty mature enough to kind of feel their value where they can get a value. But I feel um, most of the organizations, I think, they don't think data as a product. I think that's one of the very important um, observation I had. Not related to where I work though, but I'm kind of being with the startup before, where ASK.com, right? So when I was in ASK.com, I think they wanted to solve a problem in a very silo mode. Like we got a business requirement, we want to solve it. No, what I feel is, from an organization standpoint, you need to think the data as a product, where you will have a lot of data custodians, which includes data strategist, data engineering tech team. We have data scientists and we have data quality engineers, right? So all of these to bring a spin up a data product, you need to have all these expertise into a room and try to bring their expertise into what you want to solve. And to do that, you need to start with customer, right? So understand what your customer pain points are. Start from there, work backwards, figure out what's your overall strategy looks like in the near future, as a 6 months of delivery, and bring the right set of folks and expertise into the room, and then deliver it. So I think that's one of the key thing which organization has to think of in terms of data. And my only ask here is like to give value to data, because data will bring a lot of value to your future vision or whatever you want to launch. So that is one of the important aspect of how things will look like.
Thank you for sharing these insights on this topic. I would also want to ask you, in terms of the next couple of years and all the developments we are going to see in terms of data and especially AI nowadays. What would be one, let's say, bold prediction that you would make in regards to data engineering, the field that you currently work in?
Yeah, I feel it's a time now. So I think from a data engineering standpoint, we all try to follow the things which used to happen in past, right? We continuously following it. We are not challenging ourselves in doing something different, which is actually something we have to do, right? And in near future, I mean near future could be like 1 year, 2 years. I think there could be a good question on the skill set what we own, where we wanted to uh, evolve ourselves in a new way of rethinking of our expertise, right? And just to make sure that we are not sitting idle and doing the same thing again and again. Instead, try to improvise. Why are we doing it? Ask that question to ourselves. Why? If you ask that question from a data engineering standpoint to us, like why are we doing it? I think that's when the innovation comes out, and that's where I think the learning comes out, right? And this is one of the things which I feel will change in future. And from our standpoint, I think we all agree that even though you are required to build ETL pipelines, but it's not necessarily that cannot be automated. So think what different you could do to kind of get out of that safe zone, and try to bring the value out of your work what you do. So that's something I can think of getting through. Yeah.
Thank you for that answer, Deepak. And one last question to like a final touch
Sure, yeah.
for this talk. If you had to describe the Data Innovation Summit in one word, what would that word be?
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, this is the good forum to kind of share ideas, learn about what other teams are doing, and kind of learn from their experience, right? So I really like it, and it's an amazing experience to be here and participate in it.
Thank you very much for your kind words. Thank
Sure.
you.